Welcome to the Ebbs of History, the show where we dive into the strangest, wildest, and sometimes downright creepiest stories the past has to offer. From dancing plagues to pirate queens, you'll laugh, you'll gasp, you'll even groan at my impeccable dad jokes. But, most importantly, you'll learn how history is way cooler than your textbook ever told you.
We're your history-loving hosts, Zoe, Gavin,
And I'm Jason. And in every episode, the three of us will take a quick trip through time and see what lessons we can still learn today. This is the Ebbs of History. Welcome back, history lovers. We're so glad you're here with us today. Zoe, Gavin, how are things?
Things are good. It's been a good week. I'm still doing my camp that we talked about previously. Gavin is not. He's at a different one, but he finished, so.
Yeah, this past week I had a summer camp, and that was my last one of the summer. So, I went to the beach, connected to that camp.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm all burnt up right now.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's been horrible. But it was a really fun week. A lot of my friends were at the camp.
Yeah.
So that just made it even more fun.
I know you were exhausted the entire week.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it happened, and I'm glad it's over. I did it last year, but...
Well, good.
Yeah.
A quick heads up before we start. Today's episode is about a real government program that tested drugs and psychological pressure on people, often without telling them. We'll keep it age appropriate, but it does include some experiments on people who never agreed to them, and the mysterious death of one scientist. If that's not your cup of tea today, we'll catch you next episode. You know the secret government lab in Stranger Things? The one with the sensory deprivation tank and all the kids with powers?
Yep.
Well, that lab is made up. But the program that inspired it was completely, terrifyingly real, and it was called MK Ultra.
See, that's scary.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that that's real.
The whole, idea of that in, being the season 1, plot anchor and, even it comes back in 4, it sounds so made up. It literally sounds came from, the writers' minds, but, they had real ideas to back
They had
it
it based on something real, exactly. I mean, they didn't have kids in an underground bunker, like in the show, but, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were still experimenting on people.
Yeah.
All right, picture Hawkins National Laboratory. Fluorescent hallways, locked doors, a little girl in a hospital gown floating in a giant tank of salt water, while scientists in lab coats scribble on clipboards. Creepy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now here's the twist worthy of the Upside Down itself. The Duffer Brothers, the guys who made Stranger Things, did not invent the lab out of thin air. They borrowed it from history. The real program even had a real name, MK Ultra, and the show points right at it. Eleven's mom in the series, Terry Ives, is written as a test subject in MK Ultra. Fun behind-the-scenes nugget, the show was originally going to be called Montauk, after a different government conspiracy legend, before the Duffers leaned into the real CIA story instead.
Meet me in Montauk.
Buckle up, because this one's a doozy. Let's set the scene. Early 1950s. World War II is over, but a new kind of standoff has begun. Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union. Nobody's shooting at anybody directly, but everybody is terrified of everybody. And American spies have convinced themselves of a genuinely wild idea. That the Soviets, the Chinese, and the North Koreans have figured out how to control human minds. Brainwashing. They looked at American prisoners of war coming home from Korea, saying strange things, and they panicked. The thinking was, if the other side can flip a switch in someone's brain, then we need that switch too. Or at least we need to know how to turn it off. So on April 13th, 1953, the director of the CIA, a man named Allen Dulles, approved a top-secret program, quote, for the covert use of biological and chemical materials. Translation? Well, let's find a mind-control drug before the bad guys do. They gave it a deliberately meaningless code name so nobody could guess what it was. MK was just the tag for the office running it, and Ultra was, no joke, basically a random word. The whole point of the name was that it told you absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Now, as I was writing this, I wrote that paragraph and I thought, I don't know, MK kind of means mind control.
I guess.
Yeah,
right?
But it throws you off because there's a K, not a C.
It wasn't that hard, weird
to
make that connection.
I guess.
They could have made it a little bit harder if they really wanted to.
It's a little on the nose.
Enter our main character. His name was Sidney Gottlieb, a chemist the CIA put in charge of the day-to-day operations. People inside the agency nicknamed him the Black Sorcerer. Now, when you hear sinister government scientist, you're probably imagining a cold villain in a sharp suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm picturing Papa.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
Now, Gottlieb was not that. Gottlieb had a club foot and a stammer, lived on a farm in the Virginia mountains, woke up before dawn every morning to milk his own goats, and was, by all accounts, an enthusiastic square dancer who would drag visiting scientists onto the dance floor.
That's like the most like country boy thing.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Like
Milking goats, square dancing.
just like
Yeah.
farm life.
He just seems like a normal person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a nefarious chemist for the CIA.
Yeah.
This guy is designing secret mind control experiments by day and do-si-doing at the barn dance by night. History is definitely stranger than fiction sometimes.
Stranger Things.
Gottlieb became obsessed with one drug above all others, LSD. The CIA thought it might be a magic key to unlocking the human mind. How obsessed were they? In the early 50s, Gottlieb arranged for the agency to spend around $250,000, which is $2.9 million today, to buy what was reported to be the entire world's supply of LSD, ship it back to the United States. Then he started handing it out to hospitals, clinics, prisons, and universities to see what it did to people.
Oh my god.
What does the drug LSD do? Are you going to go into that?
It's
later?
like a hallucinogenic.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm fresh out of health class, so
I think it's acid. They call it acid.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's its street name.
I guess so.
Yes, I don't know.
And here's where it goes from secret science to truly outrageous. The first test subjects were CIA agents themselves.
Oh.
Officers would secretly slip LSD into a coworker's morning coffee just to watch what happened. Imagine showing up to your spy job and never being totally sure if your boss had dosed your drink as a Tuesday.
The original drink spiker, like
The whole thing had what one official basically admitted was a wild, party-like atmosphere with almost no rules. The most notorious chapter has a name so over the top I can barely say it on a kid's show. So I will give you the polite version. Operation Midnight Climax. The CIA set up secret apartments called safe houses in San Francisco and New York. They would lure unsuspecting people inside, secretly give them LSD, and then watch them through a two-way mirror to study how the drug affected their behavior. All without those people having the faintest idea that they were part of a government experiment. The agent running it, George White, enjoyed his observation post a little too much. He installed a mini fridge stocked with martinis and a portable toilet behind that mirror so he would never have to leave and miss a single moment.
Ugh.
He later wrote a letter describing the job with the phrase, "It was fun, fun, fun."
ugh.
But like that's just psychopathic behavior.
Now, I've been keeping it light, but I have to be honest with you about the dark part, because that is the deal we make on this show. This program was not just goofy spies and martinis. MKUltra often targeted the people who could least fight back. Prisoners were dosed, including a man who would later become a famous Boston mobster, James Whitey Bulger, who wrote that he and other inmates experienced living nightmares and thought that they were going insane.
It's like Scarecrow.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I bet you there's some connection there.
That's another thing that I should have said in How Was I Week? We watched The Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Yeah, such a good movie.
such a good movie.
So like, oh god, it was so amazing.
Patients in hospitals were experimented on. In Montreal, a psychiatrist funded by the program kept patients in a drugged sleep for weeks at a time while playing them looping recorded messages, an idea he called psychic driving, trying to erase and rewrite their minds. None of these people truly understood what was being done to them, and many were harmed for the rest of their lives.
Ugh. See, imagine if they told him, but then they just gave him a placebo. I would want to see that experiment, you know?
Well, that's how scientific experiments actually work.
Yeah.
You know, that you're describing what is supposed to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a drug, you tell the people what the drug's supposed to do, you give half of them a placebo and the other half the real drug.
Yeah.
They don't know what they have,
Yeah.
and that's how you find out how things actually work.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is the mystery that cracked the whole thing open. In 1953, an Army scientist named Frank Olson was secretly given LSD by Gottlieb's team at a work retreat without his knowledge. 9 days later, Olson died after going out the window of a 13th floor hotel room in New York in the middle of the night. For decades, the official story called it an accident or worse. But Olson's family never believed it. When his son had the body examined again in 1994, a forensic expert found a head injury that did not seem to match a simple fall and called the evidence starkly suggestive of homicide. A homicide investigation was opened, but never produced charges. To this day, nobody can prove exactly what happened in that room, and the Olson family is convinced their father was silenced because he knew too much. Meanwhile, remember the goat-milking square dancer?
Oh, yeah.
Gottlieb had a second job that was somehow even more like a comic book plot. He was the CIA's poison maker, in charge of inventing gadgets to take out enemy leaders. His greatest hits include a poison-tipped pin hidden inside a hollow silver dollar. A real spy carried one of those. Exploding seashells, a wetsuit laced with toxins, and for Cuba's leader, Fidel Castro, a buffet of bizarre plots.
God.
Poison cigars, a spray to fill his radio studio with LSD before a live speech, and a powder meant to be sprinkled in his boots to make his famous beard fall out, on the theory that a beardless Castro would lose his power. Didn't we just talk about that the other day?
Yeah.
About the beardless Castro? What were we doing?
Probably. I think we were watching I think it was one of those like crazy history facts videos,
That's it. Yep.
and it brought it up. But that was one of the things.
So after 20 years and millions of dollars, what did the CIA actually learn? Drum roll, please. Pretty much nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
Gottlieb himself eventually concluded that you simply cannot reliably control a human mind with a drug. The Manchurian Candidate dream was a bust. There was no switch. Do you guys know what a Manchurian Candidate is?
In China, where they would have like POWs, right? And they would like torture them, right? And I remember learning about this. Was this connected to those, like, it was basically like eugenics back then, where they're trying to like change you?
They're trying to brainwash you. A Manchurian Candidate is a person who's been secretly brainwashed or controlled, often by an enemy government, like you're talking about. So they'll do something like spy or sabotage or even kill someone without realizing that they're being used. The idea comes from a famous story where someone is turned into a kind of a human remote control agent. They might seem normal, but a hidden trigger word can switch them into doing the mission.
This is very spy movie.
Yeah.
There's a movie called The Manchurian Candidate, and it's all this.
You just played Call of Duty Cold War, and that, like, was kind of like the character, right?
That's correct. That is 100% right. I don't want to do any spoilers, but
For the game?
Well, it was released in 2019.
Okay,
If
yeah,
you
you're
haven't
right.
played it yet, you're probably not.
You're the main character, obviously, and you end up in the end being like a Manchurian Candidate with a trigger word, and
That's crazy.
It was a really good story. I don't usually play Call of Duty, but I wanted to play that one because I heard the story was good. I had no idea how good it was.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I've like heard like all these like tropes, you know, like the trigger word, like Zoe the other day was just like it's like a funny trend to like making my friend scared of the word like apple.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And
We were
that's
talking
like
about that.
kind of in like the same
It
vein,
is.
you know?
Absolutely, you're right.
It is, yeah.
You're
But, like,
conditioning them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very different and just like
To the extreme.
yeah,
Of-
like two very different extremes,
One's for
but
fun,
like
one's for government control.
yeah, but it's still kind of like the same idea.
It is, absolutely. Just on a different level. For
Yeah.
Sure. But the MK Ultra program left two enormous accidental legacies. First, by spreading LSD to college campuses, MK Ultra helped kick off the very thing it was afraid of. A Stanford student named Ken Kesey volunteered for one of these LSD studies, loved it, and went on to throw legendary parties called acid tests, featuring a then unknown band called the Grateful Dead. The CIA, trying to win the Cold War, basically became the unwitting sponsor of the 1960s hippie movement. The irony is so thick that you could spread it on toast. Second, The CIA tried to make MK-Ultra disappear. In 1973, fearing the program would be discovered, the CIA director ordered nearly all the records shredded, and it almost worked. But here's the detail that makes history nerd like me grin. A single box of files survived. Because some clerk years earlier had mistakenly filed it with the boring budget and financial paperwork instead of the project paperwork. The shredders missed it. That stray box of receipts, plus the Frank Olson mystery, is a huge part of how investigators later, in 1975 and 1977, pieced the story back together. A government tried to erase itself and got foiled by its own filing error.
Oh my god.
Which brings us back to Hawkins. When 11 climbs into that tank, when shadowy men in suits experiment on a child to weaponize her mind against the Soviets, the show is not just making up a spooky story. It's holding up a funhouse mirror to something that genuinely happened. The Upside Down is fiction. The lab is not.
Historiography!
Time to put the legend on the witness stand. A lot about MK-Ultra is rock solid. The program existed from 1953. Sidney Gottlieb ran it. The CIA bought enormous quantities of LSD. Operation Midnight Climax dosed unwitting people. And Congress confirmed it all in 1975 and 1977, using surviving documents. Those facts are not in dispute. The hard part is everything that the shredder destroyed in 1973. Because most records are gone, we do not know how many people were experimented on, who they all were, or whether anyone was ever successfully, quote-unquote, controlled. That missing evidence is exactly where the rumor rushes in. You will hear sweeping claims online that MKUltra was creating assassins, or explains every modern conspiracy. Be careful there. The well-documented program was disturbing enough on its own. Frank Olson's death is the honest middle ground. A forensic expert called it a suggestive of homicide. But suggestive is not proven, and the case remains officially unsolved. Lessons we've learned today. Anything?
Don't take drugs.
Don't take drugs.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know if that's the lesson of this episode.
I know, but it's a
trust no one. Everyone's an enemy.
Yeah.
No, that's a joke. Just don't take drugs. I guess it's
but
like
the government was telling you it was okay.
yeah.
like,
I guess
it
like,
was
just don't trust everyone. This is like still trust them. It's just like question, you know?
You got a question thing.
Question everything.
Like not everything. It's just like these people didn't know. I don't know how to say
What
it.
about the fact that what caused this program to be created? What was behind it?
Paranoia.
Paranoia, exactly. What can you learn from the paranoia that was then made this program? Can you learn anything there?
It kind of reminds me of like, not bandwagoning, but like just mass hysteria and like just doing anything to keep almost a sense of normalcy, but like not a sense of normalcy, just know the unknown.
Can I say something?
Yeah, please.
But like kind of connected to that. When there's like high stress in the world, or just like personally, people just don't look at things face value, you know?
That's a very good point.
They look at something deeper when they really shouldn't, and like it's just unneeded.
Yeah, so the stress, I guess you could say stress makes people do reckless things.
Yeah.
Not-
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, not look into something or just, say, oh, okay, government, you do, what you're supposed to because you're looking out for us, but are they?
Yeah.
I mean, they were experimenting on
Innocent
US
people.
innocent people without their consent.
Yeah.
The missing word in this entire episode, this is the lesson I learned, is consent.
Yes.
The deepest wrong was not the strange experiments. It was doing them to people who never agreed and could not say no. That idea that nobody should be experimented on without understanding and choosing it is now a bedrock rule in science. Truth is sneaky. A whole program was shredded, yet one misfiled box and one grieving family were enough to drag it back into the light.
Yeah.
Cover-ups are rarely as airtight as the people running them hope they will be.
Yeah. And now there's an entire series, like a show, That's one of the most popular shows ever.
Yep.
Based on that concept.
Based on
that.
There's been other things too. There's been other movies and shows. And it was The Men Who Stare at Goats had a little bit of a MK Ultra flavor to it.
But it's just like Stranger Things is like the most popular example, you know?
Oh, very much so. Yeah. In the current zeitgeist, as they call it.
Yeah. That's a good word to use.
It's time for the Fun Fact Challenge. You know the rules. Best of 3. I don't have to finish.
That's my least favorite rule now.
On April 13th, 1953, the director of the CIA approved a top-secret program that was called MK Ultra. What was his name?
Locked in.
I feel like you guys were tied, but Zoe was louder, so I heard her first.
What?
But I'm going to give Gavin.
It was Alan G. His last name started with a G.
That is incorrect, sir.
What?
Zoe.
Alan Dulles.
Alan Dulles, who the airport in Washington, D.C. is named after.
Oh.
Dulles International. All right.
I can't read.
Zoe's output of MK Ultra was fond of what activity?
Locked in.
That's Zoe.
Line dancing.
Incorrect.
What?
Watching the patients.
No.
The what?
He was a farm guy.
He was a farm guy, but
Milking his goats?
he didn't line dance.
He square danced.
Do-si-do.
He square danced. Nobody got that right.
What?
He was a square dancer. He made scientists
Yeah.
go with him to go square dancing.
I guess
Mixed up
that's
line
true.
dancing and square dancing.
why I
I guess
said
they are different things.
Activity. All right, question 3. Zoe's still up 1-0. You got a chance to tie it up here. We can go into overtime. One of Gottlieb's most famous weapons that he creates was a poison-tipped pin placed inside
Locked
of
in.
what?
A silver dollar.
Good job. Tied up 1-1. All right, we need to do a closest to the pin here. Do this.
What does LSD stand for? Lysergic acid diethylamide.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a name straight from organic chemistry that I don't want to go back to. Is LSD a hard drug?
All right,
Yes.
closest to the year. You just got to give me the year.
Like so
What
many years.
year? You don't have to lock in. You just give me your answers. And what year did the shredding of files happen?
Can I go 1975?
1974.
Gavin's closer. 1973.
Oh my god!
The come from behind win.
Oh my god! I can't believe I just did that.
That was crazy.
That's awesome.
Wow. Stay in history.
Today is July 30th, and on this date in 1619, the House of Burgesses convened in Jamestown, Virginia, becoming the first elected lawmaking assembly in colonial America. 22 representatives gathered in a church to settle disputes and write local laws, planting an early seed of representative government in the colonies. 1619, that's like super early.
Yeah. That's like EHAP year. Like,
In 1932, the Summer Olympics opened in Los Angeles. The games introduced the modern athletes' village and the 3-tier medal podium we still use today,
wow.
where gold, silver, and bronze winners stand at different heights. Isn't that weird to think that wasn't a thing before 1932?
Yeah.
That's
Very
kind of
weird.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so ubiquitous, and we see it like with everything.
Yeah, it's not
Mhm.
even just the Olympics
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
Yeah, it's such an iconic placing symbol.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, like vasing.
and it's not even 100 years old.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And now they're coming back to LA
Yep.
next Olympic.
2028. All right, and this last one, I'm thinking about doing a episode on it because I read a book about it, and it's a crazy story. In 1945, on this date, the USS Indianapolis was sunk by a Japanese submarine just after secretly delivering parts for the first atomic bomb.
Oh, wow.
Hundreds of sailors survived the sinking, but waited days in the open ocean for a rescue that nearly never came.
Oh my
I think I've
god.
heard about this before.
And they were like dealing with sharks. And
Yeah.
it's a crazy story that I think is well suited to our podcast. So I might do in the future. So there it is. A goat milking poison maker, martinis behind a two-way mirror, a beard removal plot, and a cover-up undone by a filing error. MK Ultra tried to control the mind, failed completely, and accidentally inspired both the hippie movement and one of TV's spookiest shows. The lab was real, so is the lesson. That's it for this episode. Thanks for traveling through time with us on the Ebbs of History. If you like today's story, share it with a teacher, a friend, or your family on Instagram at Ebbs of History. If you have any show ideas, corrections, or questions, you can contact us at questions@ebbsofhistory.com.
Signing off, this has been your co-host, Gavin.
Zoe.
And me, Jason, reminding you that history is not just about the dates and battles, it's about the people, curiosity, and the weird, wonderful choices that shaped our world. Until next time,
Keep wondering.
Keep laughing.
and keep learning through
The Ebbs of History.